This video comes at us awful fast, Aspers, and it shows us the dangers of facing a knife-wielding opponent. It shows us that, boy, if you're going to use your wrestling skills, if you're going to use your grappling, boy, doing that against an armed opponent, somebody who's armed with a knife, is very, very dangerous. And it also reminds us why we carry an individual first aid kit and how to use it, why to use it in an emergency. As the video begins, the purse snatcher runs out of this subway train and he's got his victim and one other person running in behind him. But you see him, he's getting away, and then all of a sudden here we see another good guy, a 19-year-old guy by the video, jump in there to try to stop him, and he uses some wrestling moves to try to stop this guy, but he doesn't notice or doesn't control his arm with the knife, and so he gets stabbed multiple times. Now, I don't know if he didn't recognize that he was stabbed, or if nobody else recognized that, or if they recognized it and didn't have any tools available to them or any skills, but nobody seems super concerned. He's sitting there and everybody's kind of sitting around waiting for the cops to get there, and they're going to do that, and there's even somebody here picking up change or whatever was dropped until this guy finally falls to the ground. If you watch the original video, it takes a long time for paramedics to get there. I want to back up and think about some of the lessons here. Number one, as this guy runs off, this first lady that kind of comes in contact with him here, when you see the screaming or things are going wrong and you can tell that, boy, see what's going on around you, because she almost got herself right in the way of this guy who's running away with a knife, which could have been very, very dangerous to her. Number two, now as we see our good guy show up and he's going to step out there and act, which, I mean, I applaud him for wanting to act, but are you sure that you want to do this in this kind of a situation, or you want to get in a deadly force encounter with a fleeing felon over someone's purse? Next one, again, if you decide to do that, that's great, but I'm not so sure that the Chuck Norris Hong Kong Phooey kick was the right way to do that. I'm not trying to make fun of this kid. I'm just saying I don't know that that was the right way to go about it. Next, we're going to slow it down and see how many times he gets stabbed. We're at 2 at least there, because if you look, he's doing some classic groundwork, some jiu-jitsu there. He's got some head control or some, some grappling arts. Maybe he's got some wrestling background or something. He's got pretty good control of the guy's head, but not his right arm. And because he doesn't have dominance over that tool, man, he's just going to get stabbed again and again and again. I think he got stabbed at least 5 or 6 times. And we see him finally let the guy go, because I'm sure the pain finally started as he lets this guy go. And as he gets away, we start to see the guy go, ouch, man, that kind of hurt. I wonder what's going on. And you can see how big that knife is there. That's probably a 3-inch blade, give or take. And so you might think a 3-inch blade isn't all that deadly, but boy, this guy's definitely feeling that, because he's got 5 or 6 stabs with it. And I also want us to think about here, as the video continues, do you carry your first aid kit? Do you carry your IFAK on you? I hope you do. And for situations like this, not only on yourself, but on others, it needs to be able to control bleeding, because you got to get this guy to the hospital now, not sit here and wait for other help, because you are the first responder. So when you're in a knife fight, folks, boy, you're going to get bloody. You better be ready to defend. So this video reminds us, boy, that you need to have that individual first aid kit on you. You need to have it on you all the time, because waiting for the first responders to get there isn't going to work, because you're the first responder. It also reminds us that fighting against an armed opponent, boy, if you're fighting against somebody with that knife, you want to maintain distance against a knife-wielding opponent, because if they can close that distance, they can get you in a hurry. Also reminds us that if you are stabbed, you may not notice it immediately, so that when you're done with that kind of a fight, if you think that they might be armed, you better do some injury, look over real fast. You want to do some casualty care as fast as you can. And that here is how you cover your ASP.